Everybody. Alright, so this is going to be probably my shortest YouTube video ever. And this is going to be Microsoft Word. I don't know what version this is, but I did some copy and pasting in here, and I've got this double yellow line. And so when you see the double yellow line here, when I try to highlight it to delete it, I can't. All I'm going to be able to delete is the wording. I want to get rid of the double yellow line, but I don't want to get rid of my wording. I can't go to the end and backspace because you see the cursor goes over here. I can't go to the front of the line and do it. And so you're looking at this line and you're thinking, how the heck do I do it? Well, it's a line, but it's not really a line because it's a border. I didn't realize that at the time. I spent forever trying to figure this out. And now that I figured it out, I'm going to share this with everybody else. So if you run into this thing, double line, or a single line, and you want to delete it and you can't delete it, what you need to do, I'm going to go up to the top over here. You don't want to be on this, you don't want to be on this, you don't want to be on this, you want to be on the Home tab. Where's the cursor? There's the Home tab over there. So you click on the Home tab. So we're at the Home tab. Now I'm going to go back over here. And I'm going to attempt to put a space in here, which I probably can't do. Okay, I can. Okay, so I've got a space there. Now that you see a space, if I hit delete on the keyboard, it doesn't delete it. So what I want to do again is I'm going to put a space over here so I don't wipe out my wording. And I've got the cursor, the flashing cursor before the line. Now I'm going to go up to, you can do this in Outlook and most of the Word programs, the Microsoft things, but I'm going to go over to here. And this is the border. There's also, you have to be on the Home tab, and there are other places you can find this, I think, but this is, see how it says top border? I'm going to go over here. I'm going to click on that right side where the down arrow is, and I'm going to go click on this no border. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to hold it at no border. I'm going to go down to the line. You can still see that I've got the no border. I'm going to go down to the line that I had before, and I'm going to click no border, and the line is gone. I don't know if I have any others in here. If I do, I will do another delete. You know, if I add them back in right now, I'm not going to be able to, I'll be able to delete them, so I don't know what causes that border line. Nope, I think they're all gone. Yeah, they're all gone. So, hey, that's it. Hopefully this video helps everybody. I thought it was worth taking my time to put it out on the tube, since it's kind of hard to do searches and find things that you want to find out there. If you like it, do a thumbs up, subscribe, like. What else do I always say? Leave a comment, share the video. If you want to donate to my channel, ask for my PayPal info. And if there's a product you want me to review and I can get a hold of it, I'll do the review, since it's a review channel. So that is how you do it. You just want to go up to here. You want to put the cursor before the line. That's why I did that space. You don't want to do it on the word, because I think you're going to wipe out your text. And then you've got, who knew that this even existed? Top border, left border, right border, no border, all borders. And if you're that crazy guy with the orange hair, you're saying no borders. So hopefully this helped everybody. Thanks for watching. Hey everybody, this video is going to be a California Department of Motor Hi everybody, this video is going to be a California Department of Motor Vehicles sample test for 2019 for renewal of your Class C driver's license. So that's not a motorcycle thing, it's not a 18-wheeler or a truck, Class C. It's the standard driver's license that you get for a car. So these answers are available everywhere. DMV puts them out. I'm not giving any information that no one should have. This is available to educate you and to help you study so that you can pass the test. I forget what percentage you need on the test, but this includes 5 sample tests, and there are 10 questions and answers for each test. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down. What are we at? We're at 47. So I'm going to do this on and off so that you can read it. If you want to pause the video and copy it, or do a screen capture or photograph it with your cell phone, you know, that's up to you. Just do a thumbs up, subscribe, like, share, leave a comment, help me out, help everybody out so that we can all be smarter. This is not a way to game the system. As I said, these questions and answers are available in the book. So this is just a way to help you study and make it easier for you so that you know the rules of the road and that you can be a better driver out there and do good when you take your test. So I'm just going to scroll down slowly. As I said, there are 10 questions per sample test, and we have the 4 questions now. So I'm going to slowly scroll down. This video will be about 10 minutes. Scroll up and down, back and forth, left and right, in the middle, to the side. You know how it is. So, get a little mouse action in here, pressing the mouse button. Okay, but there are some people that are driving on our road and they might not be able to read this test. Yes, that's possible. So, question 1, you may drive off of the paved roadway to pass another vehicle. Under no circumstances may you do that. You cannot drive off a paved roadway to pass another vehicle. In fact, that just happened. Somebody tried to pass on the side on the freeway 2 days ago and took somebody's life. Question 2, you are approaching a railroad crossing with no warning devices and are unable to see 400 feet down the tracks in one direction. The speed limit is 15 miles an hour. And I've got to tell you, that's the speed limit. I'd be going a lot slower because I would be careful. Okay, question 3. When parking your vehicle parallel to the curb on a level street, your wheels must be within 18 inches of the curb. That is true. And every day when I drive down the street, I see people that are like 2 feet away from the curb. They're way out there. They're taking up half the lane. Unbelievable. Yes, we have lots of problems on the streets of California. Question 4. Sorry about the airplane in the background. When merging onto the freeway, you should be driving at or near the same speed as the traffic on the freeway. That's right. So you've got that off-ramp, the on-ramp, which is set up with enough length so that you can match that speed. Sometimes it's not easy if you're at those red lights that are stopping you. There's no way you can get up to 65 miles an hour or 55 within a couple feet. But that's the answer. At or near the same speed. Question 5. When driving in fog, you should use your low beams. The reason being, high beams create a massive amount of glare that reflects back at you. It's also going to, if the light goes through the fog, it could blind somebody coming towards you, but it's going to make it harder for you to see. So always keep your headlights on low beams when you are driving in fog. Question 6. A white painted curb means loading zone for passengers or mail only. Remember when you're at the airport, the white zone is for immediate loading and unloading of passengers only. So that should help you with question 6. Question 7. A school bus ahead of you in your lane is stopped with red flashing lights, not rights, lights. Most people break the law when they see this. When you see the school bus with the red flashing lights, stop as long as the red lights are flashing. Most people go around it. Most people stop and then go around it. That is wrong. The answer is stop as long as the red lights are flashing. And be patient and wait. Question 8. California's basic speed law says, I think it's the legal term is like prima facie or something like that, something with a fascia, says you should never drive faster than is safe for current conditions. That's why sometimes, well, I won't get into it, but if you're going over the speed limit and everybody else is going over the speed limit, that is kind of where it becomes something that they have to be careful with citing, because that's the current speed. That's how they figure out the speed limits on a road. They kind of do a survey test and figure out what people are driving, and that is where it needs to be. So, question 9, you just sold your vehicle. You must notify the DMV within 5 days. I would do it sooner. You want to notify your insurance company to make sure that if anybody crashes that car, you're taken care of. You want to notify the DMV right away, so if anybody takes your car and uses it in a crime, you're covered. Get some good documentation. 5 days for question 9. Told you this was going to be an informative video. Question 10, and we're only in the first test. To avoid last-minute moves, is somebody moving out of town? To avoid last-minute moves, you should be looking down the road to where your vehicle will be in about 10 to 15 seconds. That's a very valid answer. The problem is, when you're on our highways today, most people are right on somebody's bumper. And if you were watching people, they're looking down, they're looking to the side, they're playing with the radio, they're playing with their cell phone, they're taking videos of things. Nobody is looking. Nobody's aware. Fascinating thing. If there is a stop sign that's put up on a road, say that there's a movie being filmed and they set up a stop sign over there, people will drive right up to that stop sign and most of the time not even see it because they're not looking. They don't look ahead. And when they get up to the thing, they go, oh my gosh, there's a stop sign. What do I do? Oh. So, yeah, question 10 to 15 seconds. All right, so we're going to question the written test number 2. You are about to make a left turn. You must signal continuously during the last how many feet before the turn? The signal answer would be 100 feet before the turn. I signal way, way, way. You don't want to signal too far in advance because you could confuse people pulling out of a parking lot or coming towards you. But you do want to signal 100 feet before turning. And that's an easy answer to remember, 100 feet. They didn't do like 110 or 125, 100 feet. Just remember, 100. Should be easy for you. Question 2. Which of the following statements about blind spots is true? And the answer is going to be, large trucks have bigger blind spots than most passenger vehicles. Pretty obvious. I don't know what the question is going to be, but trucks are not going to be able to see as well, so large trucks have bigger blind spots than most passenger vehicles. And now we're on to question 3. You have been involved in a minor traffic collision with a parked vehicle and you can't find the owner. You must answer both of the above. And in this case, it's both of the below. Leave a note on the vehicle and report the accident without delay to the city police or in the unincorporated area to the CHP. Now, I will tell you, with the problems we're having on the roads today, people are doing hit and runs, hitting people and leaving, and they're hitting cars and leaving. They're not leaving notes, which is pathetic, especially when you hit somebody and then drive away. That's against the law, and it's wrong, and it makes your life even worse. It's a criminal act at that point. So you have to leave a note, and you have to report it to the police. I don't know if the local police will even take a report. Maybe they will. But leave that note. You really need to be careful nowadays. There are cameras everywhere, and you hit and run a car, and somebody looks at a camera and gets your license plate, you've got some problems on your hands. So let's go over to question 4. Unless otherwise posted, the speed limit in a residential district is 25 miles per hour. Very true. In the neighborhoods that I drive, it's 25 miles an hour, and most people are doing like 40 and 50. Scary. You got to be careful out there. Question 5. You may legally block an intersection under no circumstances. Every time people are making a left turn, you're blocking an intersection. When you're driving through and there's traffic, you end up getting stuck in there, you're blocking an intersection. You're not supposed to. A lot of cities say, leave notices saying no clear on the ground or don't block the intersection, and you're not supposed to. So legally, you're not supposed to. Realistically, it happens all the time. Question 6. When parking uphill on a two-way street with no curbs, your front wheel should be, answer, turned to the right away from the street. Now, the reason behind that is that if the back of the front tires is turned towards the curb, the car is not going to roll down the street. So turned to the right away from the street. Okay, that's a little different. Okay, so what they want you to do is turn the wheel so you've got they want it so that if the car is going to roll, it's going to roll up onto the street. So you're turning the front part of your front tires is going to be facing towards the street. Very confusing. Just remember, turn to the right. Question 7, with a Class C driver's license, which is what this is all about, a person may drive, remember what I said at the beginning? A 3-axle vehicle if the gross weight is less than 6,000 pounds. And I think that's something like those, the U-Hauls, you're doing the U-Haul trucks, and that way you're able to drive it legally. Not the biggie ones, but the average ones. Question 8, to turn left from a multi-lane one-way street onto a one-way street, you should turn from the lane closest to the left curb. Well, that's just common logic, because you know when you're taking a left turn, you're always in the left turn lane, so the lane closest to the left curb, pretty easy to figure out, even if you didn't know the answer. Question 9 of Test 2. If you were involved in a traffic collision, you were required to complete and submit a written report, SR1, to the DMV. Correct answer, if there is property damage in excess of $1,000 or if there are any injuries. And so you have to do that with the DMV, or you can call your insurance company, and your insurance company will probably take care of that whole thing for you. I'm not 100% sure, but the answer is you have to fill out the SR1, $1,000. So they're making it easy to remember. $1,000. Question 10. Roadways are the most slippery. The first rain after a dry spell. Very true. Why? Because you've got rain mixed with road oil and all that junk that's on the road, and the roads are slippery. So pretty easy question and answer to remember. And now we're heading over to test number 3. We're way past 10 minutes. Hopefully this is going to help people. So the most important thing when you're taking a test is to understand the question and the answer. That way you don't really have to memorize it so much as you just go, oh yeah, that's pretty easy. I can figure it out when I get in there. Test 3. You are not, I should learn how to read. Test 3. Question 1. You may not park your vehicle next to a red painted curb. Very true. If it's a red painted curb, red is no, 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 don't park there. If you park in front of a red painted curb with a fire hydrant, that is a huge citation, and if there is a fire at a house in front of that, it is perfectly legal for the firemen to break your car windows and push the hoses straight through your windows, and they are not liable. And you will get a citation, and you'll probably get your car towed off after that's over. So next to a red painted curb, do not park. Question 2. You must notify the DMV within 5 days if you sell or transfer your vehicle. I believe we just had a question like that in one of the tests. Sell or transfer your vehicle. So if you sell it, contact the DMV. If you transfer it to somebody else's name, contact the DMV. All right. Question 3. 2 sets of solid. These are the tricky questions. Be careful with these. 2 sets of solid, double, yellow lines that are 2 or more feet apart may not be crossed for any reason. So the double solid lines, not the broken lines where you can turn or cross or go into a center thing to do what you need to do. 2 sets. This is not 1 set. This is 2 sets of double. So that's 4 lines. 2 feet apart, you may not cross for any reason. It's considered like an island or a block. It's a wall that you can't cross. You want to make a right turn at an upcoming intersection. You should signal for 100 feet before turning. Notice the pattern, the 100 feet, the 100 feet, the $1,000 damage. So, yes, as we learned in driver's training in high school, I don't know if they still offer that, signal your intentions. Look left. Look right. Proceed when it is safe to do so. So make sure you want to make a right turn. You should signal 100 feet before turning. Question 5. You are driving on a freeway posted for 65 miles per hour. The traffic is traveling at 70 miles per hour. You may legally drive no faster than 65. And remember what I was talking about that prima facie thing? The freeways in LA, they are insane. They are dangerous. 65 miles an hour. There are people, when I'm doing 65, there are people that are doing 80. We just had a pursuit. Some guy was doing 120 on the freeway. So you shouldn't be going faster than 65, no faster than 65. And like I said, most people out there are cranking out at 70, 75, and it's illegal. So 65 is the max. You are driving on a freeway posted 65. Don't go faster than 65. It is illegal to park your vehicle in an unmarked crosswalk. It is illegal to park your vehicle in an unmarked crosswalk. Unmarked. Now, crosswalks are usually at intersections, and they're marked. Kind of what they're saying is that if it's not marked and you're at an area where there would be a crosswalk, you can't park there. Question 7, the safest precaution that you can take regarding the use of cell phones and driving is, answer, use hands-free devices so you can keep both hands on the steering wheel. California is trying to pass a law now. I don't know if it's going to get through. They're trying to pass a law that all cell phone use, even hands-free, is illegal. And, you know, with the society the way it is today and the millennials and just the people on the road that really don't seem to care how they drive, it is dangerous at that. You've got the people on their cell phone, you've got the people that are drinking and driving, you've got the people that are all drugged up, and people that are not paying attention, and people that are breaking the laws all over the place. It's dangerous out there. So the safest precaution is use hands-free. My suggestion, put those cell phones away and watch the road and protect yourself from the people that are doing this stuff, that are a danger on the road. Question 8. If you have a green light but traffic is blocking the intersection, remember what I was talking about before with blocking intersections? Stay out of the intersection until traffic clears. And some cities put a notice out there or write on the road, clear area, keep clear, and they will write citations. That's big money for them, sitting out there in a motor unit or a black and white on the corner waiting for somebody to block that section, and it is a humongous fine. So if you have a green light, stay out of the intersection until the traffic is clear. Most people out here don't do that, but realistically, you're supposed to. Question 9, you are getting ready to make a right turn. You should remember the last thing, 100 feet in advance, signal your intentions. This is slow down or stop if necessary, and then make the turn. Fairly logical. You probably don't even need any help to know that answer. Question 10. Oop, the dog hears a barking outside. This might mess up my video. Question 10. Here we go. Here we go. Question 10. You must obey instructions. Question 10. You must obey instructions from school crossing guards at all times. That, I believe, is a I think it's a misdemeanor. It might be an infraction, but I think it's a misdemeanor. You must obey school crossing guards. When you're at a school crossing, just be careful. So many people are dropping off their kids and the parents aren't watching. Other parents just want to get out of there. Other parents are blocking the sidewalks, blocking the roads, making U-turns. School crossing areas are a nightmare. Obey the instructions and just be really careful when you're driving through that area. And remember, the other question that we had before, we're at the school crossing guard. Remember the school bus, when the red lights are flashing, you must stop and wait. So, written test 4, this video is getting really long. Question 1, test 4. It is a very windy day. You are driving and a dust storm blows across the freeway, reducing your visibility. This reminds me of being in junior high where they say you're going 4 miles an hour and you've got to get to China in 2 weeks. How fast do you go? Okay. You are driving and a dust storm blows across the freeway, reducing your visibility. You're going to remember that comment I made when you're taking that test. And you see this question, the dust storm and China. Okay, you should drive slower and turn on your headlights. You are driving You were driving and a dust storm blows across the freeway, reducing your visibility. Obviously, you'd put on your headlights so you can be seen. Pretty easy answer. Question 2, if you plan to pass another vehicle, you should not assume the other vehicle will make space for you to return to your lane. Not assume the other vehicle will make space for you to return to your lane. In California, lots of people are very aggressive on the road, and you want to go make that lane change, and they don't want to let you in, or they'll speed up. So be really careful. Don't assume anything on that road. Do not assume the other driver will make space for you. Question 3, you were driving on a freeway posted at 65 miles an hour. We're back to that question again. Most of the other vehicles are traveling 70 miles or faster. You may legally drive no faster than 65 miles per hour. We've already been there before in the last test. If you drive faster than other vehicles on a road with one lane in each direction and continually pass the other cars, you will increase your chance of an accident. I don't even know what the other answers are, but obviously you'll increase your chance of an accident. Let me throw in another comment. I drive down the road. Usually I'm doing the speed limit. Sometimes I'm going slower. People behind me, they get really pissed off. They pass me up. They cut me off. They lane change. And I meet them at the stoplight a minute later. So the odds are you're not going to get to where you're going more than a minute or two faster if you cut everybody off in speed. So it's not worth it. So you increase your chance of an accident and you look like a fool. Question 5. Which of these vehicles must always stop before crossing railroad tracks? Tank trucks marked with hazardous material play cards. Not only do you see tank trucks, a lot of semis will do that, a lot of school buses will do that. So you just have to be careful. When there's a railroad crossing, a lot of trucks will stop. Question 6. You are driving on a one-way street. You may turn left onto another one-way street only if. So you're on a one-way street and you're turning onto another one-way street going left only if traffic on the street moves to the left. You are driving on a one-way street. You may turn left onto another one-way street only if traffic on the street moves to the left. I'm looking at this question wondering what the heck are they saying here. You're on a one-way street and you make a left turn onto another one-way street. If traffic was moving to the right, you would be driving down facing the wrong direction for traffic. Question 7, a large truck is ahead of you and is turning right. Okay, a large truck is ahead of you and is turning right onto a street with 2 lanes in each direction. The truck may have to swing wide to complete the right turn. Obviously, remember that other question, blind spots, they don't see you. Trucks and buses and really big vehicles swing wide to complete turns. You just have to be careful. It all comes down to the answers. Be careful. Use caution. Question 8. Are we almost done? You may cross a double... Oh, here we are again. You may cross a double yellow line. Though the other one was a double yellow. You may cross a double yellow line to pass another vehicle if the yellow line next to your side of the road is a broken line. Remember I told you about the broken lines? Okay, and sometimes you can get in there and do your turns, but question 9, if they have a little island section over there. At intersections, crosswalks, and railroad crossings, you should always look to the sides of your vehicle to see what is coming. Pretty obvious. A lot of people just get wiped out in intersections because they don't look. They just think they've got the right of way, and they either knock somebody over in a crosswalk or somebody runs a light and ends up hitting you. So look both directions. Question 10, you drive defensively when you keep your eyes moving to look for possible hazards, which should be all the time. You should always be aware. Are we at 5 yet? I hope I'm at 5. We're good. Okay. Test 5, or not test 5, answers to the sample test 5. Question 1, you were driving on the freeway. The vehicle in front of you is a large truck. You should drive farther behind the truck than you would for a passenger vehicle. Very true, because it takes trucks a long time to stop. They might not be as alert or aware. Cars may be cutting off the truck, so the truck might have to slam on its brakes, so you always want to leave yourself room. A lot of accidents happen on the freeway. People are going too fast, right behind a big truck. The truck puts on its brakes, the car ends up driving right underneath the truck, cuts off the top of the car, and say goodbye. So use caution again. Question 2. All of the following practices, let me get a sip of water, hold on. That's delicious. All of the following practices are dangerous to do while driving. Which of these is also illegal? Listening to music through headphones that cover both ears. Very true. A lot of people do it. You notice the pattern. A lot of people break these laws all the time because they either don't know or they just don't care. You need to keep both ears uncovered. Listening to music through headphones that covers both ears. Don't use headphones when you're driving. Headphones are going to blow out your hearing way too young in your life. You don't need headphones. If you're too old, you can't hear as it is, and you don't need to make your hearing problem worse. And if you're too young, you probably can't hear anyway. So, because you've been listening to music too loud. So don't use headphones at all. Keep your music down so you can hear the sirens, so you can hear vehicles, so you can hear people. Just be aware. You don't need to listen to music all the time, especially while you're driving. Question 3. Always stop before you cross railroad tracks when you don't have room on the other side to completely cross the tracks. I live in LA. People go through these things all the time, and if your car breaks down on that track, you're in trouble. You don't want to stop on a track. You want to make sure you've got clear room or stay behind the line. If somebody wants to pass you up, let them go around you. They're the ones that are going to get hurt, not you. Question 4, when you tailgate other drivers, this is going to be a logical answer again. When you tailgate other drivers, drive close to their rear bumper, you can frustrate the other drivers and make them angry. Very true, and a lot of people slam on their brakes just to mess with you, which is also illegal, but they do it. And you might panic and slam on your brakes, and then you'll crash or you might get rear-ended. So, too many tailgaters out there. Don't tailgate, because you anger the people and you just don't know. Like they say in LA for driving, you never know, you know? Question 5. Should you always drive slower than other traffic? No, you can block traffic when you drive too slowly. What do? A lot of times I'm either at the speed limit or I'll go a couple miles an hour. Just because the speed limit says 40 doesn't mean I'm going to do 40, because I'm looking around making sure that somebody's not going to slam on their brakes in front of me, that somebody's not going to pull out of the road, out of the side, out of a driveway, out of a parking lot. So you're supposed to do the speed limit, but you don't want to go too slowly. Question 6, we're almost done. You see a signal person at a railroad. I got to learn how to slow down and read. You see a signal person at a road construction site ahead. You should obey his or her instructions at all times. It's just like a crossing guard. You obey their instructions at all times. And what was the other thing? The red light on the back of the bus. You're all going to get that answer, right? When it's flashing, you stop. Obey at all times. When can you drive in a bike lane? When you are within 200 feet of a cross street where you plan to turn right. Now, in Los Angeles, most bike lanes, it says bike lane, most bike lanes are marked off, and you will see a solid white line until you are about 200 feet away, and then the line will be a broken white line, and that is when you can get into that little area to make your turn. Question 8, 3 questions to go. You see a flashing yellow traffic signal at an upcoming intersection. The flashing yellow light means slow down and cross the intersection carefully. Remember, red light means stop. Green light means go. And yellow light means slow down and be careful. Question 9, there is no crosswalk and you see a pedestrian crossing your lane ahead. You should stop and let him, her finish crossing the street. In California, pedestrians have the right of way at all times, which doesn't mean that it is perfectly legal. If somebody crosses a street and cuts you off, you need to stop for them. And if you don't and something happens, as long as you stay in your way, chances are you're not going to have any criminal problems or liability, or not all liability. but you need to let them go first. The pedestrian in California has the right of way. I believe in New York, the pedestrian does not have any rights to anything. Question 10, a solid, here we are with these yellow lines again, a solid yellow line next to a broken yellow line means, oh, this is what I was talking about earlier in the video, means next to the broken line may pass. The vehicles next to the broken line may pass because it's a broken line. And like I was saying, when you're going to some shopping places, you'll have that yellow, the island painted in yellow, painted island on the road, and there'll be a broken yellow line. That means that you can turn into that. You can cross it to turn in. So we're at test 5. Question 10, we're finished. I spent a half an hour of my life helping everybody out. I know I talk too much, but maybe the talking will help you think about the questions and the answers. So when you get in there, you get 100% on your test, and you write to me and you say, thank you very much, I am donating to your PayPal for saving my driving credentials. But that's up to you. Thanks for watching. Remember again, share this video, leave comments, thumbs up, subscribe, like, you know it all. Thanks for watching. Good luck to you on your test, everybody. California Sample Driver's Written Test for 2019.